Good evening and welcome to Good News on Entertainment. I'm Carly Boyette. We have a fun and festive show for you tonight. I hope it's okay, but we're going to go ahead and celebrate the Christmas season a little early. First, with The Christmas Ring. It's both a book and a movie from best-selling author and now filmmaker Karen Kingsbury. The movie is officially in theaters this weekend and will hopefully stay there throughout this month and possibly all the way through Christmas if it does well. Before my conversation with Karen, though, let's go ahead and take a look at The Christmas Ring.
Welcome to Miller's Antiques. You looking for anything in particular?
My family ring. I lost it.
Ben Miller.
Vanessa Mayfield.
Vanessa, this is so romantic. Your lost ring leading you to this?
Ben's just he's a friend.
I was thinking tomorrow I could take you on a date.
Sounds like dating to me.
When does Sadie get in? I can't wait to meet her.
I don't really know how she'll feel about us spending time together.
No one will ever love you like that. Any news on your ring?
What about that reward?
There's an antique dealer who might have found my Christmas ring.
I finally found a diamond in the rough. Not her ring. Moving forward is hard.
What about you, Vanessa? Are you ready?
I think I'm falling for her.
It scares me, Ben.
Me too.
Unto us a Savior is born. That's the whole point of Christmas, isn't it?
I got a feeling their story is just beginning.
Oh, Karen, I always love when I can get some time with you, and we're talking Christmas already. I love it.
It's amazing. I mean, I can't even believe that it's come up so quickly, but we're very thrilled.
And you told me this project, you know, God must have really had his hand in it, and he thought you could turn this rather quickly because it's not like you guys have been sitting on this for quite some time. You were ready to roll this year.
Yeah, we actually, you turn the calendar page, you're like, okay, 2025. We had no plans. Like, we were trying to find an investor for a different project that we were still want to work on. And then this just came out of the blue. It came up in April, and it was like the Lord sent a speeding train and said, hey, this is going to be fun. Why don't you jump? And it was really, like I say, like Peter getting out of the boat was us getting onto this train. And literally one piece after another it was like it was ahead of us. Like, oh, how would you like to have, Janet Kramer and Benjamin Hollingsworth and then Kelsey Grammer? And we just kept looking at each other, shaking our heads, saying, how in the world is that? This is only the Lord could do this, only God.
Have you had anything come out this quickly, a book and then a movie? I mean, there's no way.
It's funny, my agent and I dreamed about this years ago. Like, you should do them at the same time, but never imagined. I mean, this was a script first. So it was like, this would be such a great, let's do it. Let's do a movie. Let's make it for the theaters and make it special. Well, only as of April of this year. So it was like, okay, let's, Tyler Russell, my screenwriting partner, son and director, all the things. I said, let's do this. So we wrote the script, and then I'm like a consumer when it comes to stories as well. And I thought, I would want more. I want more backstory. I want to be in World War II where the movie starts, but I want to be there longer. I want to know more details. And so I quickly wrote a book to go with it. And now the book releases. And it's just like so much is going on.
Now, tell me, where did you get kind of the nugget to start this story? Where was your inspiration on this beautiful love story?
Well, there were two things. One, it was a way to honor the military. And, I didn't serve, and my immediate family, no one had served. The one of our kids who wanted to had a heart defect and couldn't. But we're so thankful to our men and women of the military. So we set it in Columbus, Georgia. That was important. Now, the idea of a missing ring, that happened to my mom. And it was a true miracle story how it was found. And we just thought, if that's something that could play with both. And we had written this outline, Tyler and I, a couple of years ago. But this year, someone asked us, hey, do you have any Christmas stories just sitting around? We're looking for something. And once we dug it out and took a good look at it, we're like, no, let's not sell it. Let's make it. Let's do this. So it really was important. It was special to us because it was inspired by my mom finding a ring that her husband, my dad, gave to her.
And then why a movie? I'd imagine, and you have series that have gone to different platforms. And I mean, what is it about the theater and going to the movie that you thought, no, this is going to be perfect for that?
Well, one of our family traditions every year, and we even put it on the calendar, is like our Christmas movies. And it's always the older ones. It's like, While You Were Sleeping and Miracle on 34th Street, all the ones that you pull out the holiday, you pull out these older movies. They're like going on 25, 30 years old, some of them, even though they don't feel like it. But they're always, these particular movies that we pull out have a timeless message. And they're not super bright red and green, which are fun. Those are fun, festive movies, but they're not like that. They're just different. They stay with you. And we thought this is a story that really could just stay with people and they would want to see it again and again. So we thought, let's not sell it to a streamer or a platform. And we had some offers to do that. And we said, let's wait. They can maybe a year from now, whatever. But this year, let's just make it a beautiful experience in theaters. And, the actors really resonated with that. Even Kelsey Grammer.
I was going to ask about him because he was, I really loved hearing about how he made this leap of kind of faith for Jesus Revolution. And now I love that he's kind of embracing more of the films that I think our audience loves and wants to see him in.
Yeah, when he talks about Howard Miller, the character that he plays, he gets tears in his eyes and he says, I never played a man like Howard Miller, but I think I relate to him more now than ever. And Howard is a man of faith, a man who is a good businessman, but like Kelsey Grammer says, he'd give you the shirt off his back. That's just the kind of guy that he is, Howard Miller. So he loved reading the script and he loved the idea of playing Howard. We had him for 3 days between his son's birthday and the flight he had to take to London to finish a Marvel movie. So like that, again, only the Lord, only God could have worked out the timing on that. It was just amazing. So yeah, we all kind of talked about it, and Kelsey was one of the ones. He said there is a human experience that people get to share when you're in the theater. He said it's almost not unlike church, especially when you're seeing something that is going to lift up Jesus at Christmas time, where you get to hear Luke 2 being read to a group of children. I mean, it's fun and it's playful, but it's sweet and deep. And when you have those sort of moments, those kinds of scenes in a movie, it does beg to be in the theaters.
I'd imagine the success of the last film that you had that came out, and again, the Baxters did really well too. I mean, is this just another opportunity if we can support and get behind this project as well? I mean, I'd imagine the sky is the limit. It just feels like, again, the audience is embracing these and we want more.
No, it's so true. And we kind of made a plan, our team for Karen Kingsbury Productions. And we said, we're not going to ever ask people for money. We won't make it. If God provides, then we'll be able to make the movie. And if we don't have the funds, we won't make a movie. That's that simple. But we are so asking if people would get their tickets early because it sends a message to the theaters. And what we do this, I mean, at Christmas time, especially, this can kick off Christmas, put it on the calendar. Pick your seats now, get the best seats, because you get the best seats now, obviously, and circle it on the calendar and work around it rather than, maybe if I can, or, oh, by the way, if there's time. Make it an event. Bring your friends. Like, wear your Christmas sweaters or Christmas PJs. Some groups are doing that. And just get your tickets now. Send a message to the theaters.
Hey, and real quickly, too, I can't believe I forgot to ask this. The veterans that are in this movie, and did I read this? There's a 101-year-old veteran as well?
Yes. So we put out a message. I just put out one call on my stories on Instagram, and I just said, hey, we would rather not cast actors as our background where there's military people, and there's a lot in this movie. And I was flooded with requests and people sending in photos of themselves. And so everybody you see in uniform in background acting roles, all of them, every one of them is active or retired military, and they are wearing their own uniforms. Now, the 101-year-old is James Daniels, and he is actually a World War II vet, and he is in the movie. He actually has a speaking line where Vanessa Mayfield, played by the beautiful and talented Jana Kramer, walks up to him and thanks him for his service. And he says, well, you're welcome. Thank you. So
what a treasure that is.
What treasure? I mean, people were lined up. All these retired and active military people were lined up to just He was the star of the day. They were shaking his hand. And, they're just going to be like, I can tell my great-grandchildren someday that I shook the hand of a World War II vet. It was very special.
I just wanted to make sure and bring that up because celebrities are great and we love, when you get big time actors, but man, when you can honor somebody like that, and I love that people were lining up to meet him. That's amazing.
I was so choked up. It was so beautiful. And, the movie opens on November 6th in theaters only across the nation. But it'll stay through Christmas as people, get behind it, come see it. Yeah.
Again, The Christmas Ring hit theaters nationwide November 6th and is planned to stay in theaters all month long. And this is a Fathom release, so you can go to fathomentertainment.com for movie times. And for the book or any other updates on what Karen is also working on, go to KarenKingsbury.com. All right, now to another Christmas book I want to tell you about from Megan Alexander. Megan is a correspondent for Inside Edition. You may even recognize her from Thursday Night Football as well. Well, she is also a best-selling author, and her latest book, The True Gifts of Christmas, Unwrapping the Meaning Behind Our Most Cherished Traditions, is out now. And I really want to make sure you know about this book before the season of Advent is here, because this book is filled with 25 meaningful entries that I think will totally change the way you look at Christmas traditions in your family and around your home. Well, Megan, it is one of my favorite things when I meet other journalists and other TV hosts who are also kind of in the faith-based space as well. And it always didn't start out like that for you, I would imagine. I can't wait to hear a little bit more about your background. And man, what a blessing it is to get some time with you here at the holidays, which it sounds like is your favorite time of the year.
Yes. Happy holidays, everybody. I absolutely love it. I've been a believer my whole life, accepted Jesus into my heart at 5 years old, really made that commitment when I was in middle school. So I've always followed the Lord, and I always had this yearning to work in entertainment. And the two, in some of the Christian circles I was in, didn't always reconcile. People would say, oh gosh, secular entertainment, that's a dark place, a dark world. Are you sure you want to do that? But I just felt called to work in that space. And so I think some of us, as believers, we're called to go into secular environments and just shine our light. And I developed the skills, in film and TV and writing and acting and producing to do it. And then God just started opening doors. And the door for me that opened was Inside Edition back in 2008. And I was a national correspondent for that show full-time in New York City, moved to New York for a good 8 years, also covered Thursday Night Football for CBS, and just had a wonderful experience. Great colleagues. I've been blessed with very, very good bosses. And my philosophy has always been do good work first. Make deadline, gain the respect of your colleagues and your bosses, do good work first. And then God will give you an opportunity, down the road to share your testimony or your faith once you've gained, the respect and trust of your environment.
Oh, yep. I could not agree more. Talk about Christmas time, though, and you seem to really gravitate towards this kind of year and this time of year and doing different projects. Not only do you have this book, which is amazing, you're working on or have worked on a movie that's about to debut on Up TV as well. Talk about this time of year and why this is so special for you personally and your family.
Yeah, well, I've always loved Christmas. Always loved Christmas. My parents always made it a big deal. I walked down the aisle at my wedding to the Nutcracker music. We sang "Oh Holy Night" at my wedding. I mean, it's always been a special time of year for me because I think Christmas music is some of the most beautiful worship music that's ever been created and written. And it's also, I learned that it's an opportunity to talk about your faith. People are more open during the holidays than they are any other time of year. A lot of Christmas music is spiritual, right? It's talking about Jesus' birth. It's blaring in department stores. When else do we get that during the year, right? To have Christian music blasting from the speakers. And to me, it's just the magic of it, of being a little kid. We all get to be a little kid again. And the community aspect that comes with it. And that's what I tried to do with this book was, as a mom, like so many of us, I'm constantly fighting the secular and the spiritual and feeling like Christmas is getting too commercialized and it's all about stuff. And how do we balance it with the fact that it's Jesus' birth and it's about, love, joy, peace, kindness. And so in researching for the book, I realized that many of our Christmas traditions that we tend to think are just secular have deeply spiritual and Christian roots to them. And so we took 25 made it into a bit of an Advent devotional. And just as I go through with my kids, I hope that people will be able to do the same. And I'll just give you one quick example. For me, we do a flashlight candy cane hunt at our house where we sprinkle candy canes all over the backyard and front yard. The kids get out their flashlights, collect them. We wrap a $10 bill around one of them, kind of like an Easter egg hunt, but at Christmas with candy canes.
I'm so stealing this idea. I love it.
You need to. And listen, I've lived in New York City where we just did it in a tiny 1-bedroom apartment. So you can do it and hide them behind the couch, or you can put them, out in the horse pasture. It doesn't matter what size your house is or your yard. But in researching for the book, I realized that, for example, the candy cane back in the 1800s in Germany was the invention of a candy maker who wanted to teach children about Jesus. And so it's shaped like a shepherd's hook. It's red and white, symbolizing Jesus' blood, which washes us white as snow. And so, I think you just look for little intentional ways to insert that into our children's lives. And so when they're done with the candy cane hunt, my husband and I, one of us will just jump up as they're collecting all their candy canes and go, hey, does anybody notice what the candy cane is and what the colors mean? And all of a sudden you have a little mini Sunday school lesson. So that's what my hope the book is just those opportunities to talk about all those traditions and go, hey, do you know the background behind this? Jesus is in here too. Yeah.
What I love about the book too is there's like recipes in there. I mean, this really is kind of there's prayers in there too. I mean, it's just awesome. Scripture, it's a little bit of everything. So this is a great book to have out, whether it be on the kitchen counter, on the coffee table, really the whole season, the next couple of weeks, 2 months.
Yeah, I hear you. We wanted to give people that variety because everybody celebrates the holidays differently, right? For some people, like for us, my husband's family, his aunt always makes cinnamon rolls on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. It's a big family tradition for them. And my husband does it. What's the symbolism in bread? That Jesus is the bread of life, right? And the only bread that we need in our times of trouble. And so, for some people it's cookies, for some people it's decorations, for some it's music, for some, it just depends. And so we really wanted to sprinkle it all throughout. And I think that's the richness of the season, is that Christmas encompasses so much. But I have to just say that ultimately what was really sort of the home run for me and what's most special to me is Santa Claus. We are all dreading that day when our kids say, is there really a Santa Claus? Who is this jolly man? Is this for real? And I absolutely loved deep diving into the life of the real man on which Santa Claus is based. No, it's not just a Coca-Cola jolly man that's connected to the Macy's Day Parade. Santa Claus is based on a man named Saint Nicholas. Nicholas lived in modern day Turkey, what is now Turkey. He loved the Lord. He gave up his life for the Lord. He dedicated himself to a life of poverty. And even the tradition of stockings, hanging our stockings above the fireplace, comes from a story connected to Nicholas, that his neighbors' daughters were so poor they were going to be forced into a life of prostitution. He heard about that. They hung their stockings on the fireplace. They needed money to have a dowry to get married. And Nicholas one night snuck in and threw gold coins, legend says, into the stockings. They woke up the next morning, had money, and didn't have to go to this horrible life. And he did that all the time. I mean, there's stories of him all over town taking care of children and just giving back to the community. So all of a sudden, parents, it's not nearly as scary to have that conversation about Santa Claus. No, it's based on a real man who loved Jesus and lived an incredible life. Let's talk about it. And Christmas is honoring him.
Amen. I love that. Well, and I love too, you start the book with just the importance of the Advent calendar. Yeah. And I think it's important there's so much pressure on the actual day, but it really is the season.
Yeah, I totally agree. And just as we do the Advent calendars to extend the season, one for each day for the 25 days, my thought is just, sure, enjoy your chocolate Advent calendar, enjoy, some people have little toys and trinkets in theirs, but if you can do it by learning something meaningful each day about our Christmas traditions, well, then that extends the season and gets you thinking again, just a little bit deeper. So I think, I need all the tools I can get as a mother to do that with my kids. Their attention spans are short, and we tried to think of that and how we put it together.
Well, hey, before we run out of time, real quickly, tell us about this Christmas movie that you have coming out as well.
Oh, thank you for asking. It's called The Best Thing About Christmas. It is a musical. It's a drama musical. And I say that we don't dance, we just sing. When you think musical, you think La La Land. But it is just a beautiful story. It's PG, family friendly. It's about a family of 6, and I play the wife. Her name's Kara Hunt, and the main character is Dylan Hunt in the movie, and he is a country singer-songwriter who has a family of 4 kids and his wife, and then he gets his big break later in life in his early 40s. Thought that dream had passed him by, gets that record opportunity, moves his whole family to Nashville, and tragedy strikes. And what are you going to do when your world is flipped upside down? What are you going to cling to? What is your faith? And it all happens around the Christmas season. And so a Christmas miracle occurs. It's filled with hope. Just a really, really neat cast. The original music was all composed by a guy named Derek Hinckley, who plays Dylan Hunt, who plays our lead actor. And it's just a really great cast. My oldest daughter in the movie is Cheyenne Grace, who is an up-and-coming actress that I'm so impressed with. She's 18. And we are thrilled that Up TV has picked it up. It will be airing on Up TV in December and also streaming on Up Faith and Family. And it was really fun to do. I produced it and acted in it. It was...
You acted before?
Yes, but never like a main role. I've done a lot of bit parts. I've done a lot of plays, but this
did it light the fire? You think you want to go more into that later?
It's amazing, but it is such a commitment. I have to cry like 8 times in the movie, and these are not little tears. These are like sobbing, crying out to God for help. And it was really therapeutic to do, to tap into those emotions, but it's hard to let that go at the end of the day. So it has to be a special project if you're going to do it. But the experience was really, really amazing. Wonderful cast and crew. And we need those types of movies, right? As a mother, I want to watch those movies with my kids. I want to put them out into the universe. So I'm just a big fan of family-friendly content, and that's what it is.
Well, Megan, I just am so excited about how God has used you, how he's continuing to use you and open different doors and avenues and storytelling. I mean, I say this all the time because I promote so much of the faith-based entertainment. Jesus used stories, right? Like that's how most of what he did of teaching people about what the gospel is. And it's so much fun that we can just have a small little part of that, you know, in this modern age to do that. So you keep doing what you're doing and I am here for it. So I hopefully look forward to talking with you again soon.
Thank you. True Gifts of Christmas on Amazon and in bookstores.
And for any more info on Megan or anything she has working on, including that new Christmas movie, go to meganalexander.com. All right, now speaking of powerful, faith-filled women in media, I want to tell you about one more book tonight. It's a 40-day devotional called Written in Heaven. This book features the stories of 40 remarkable women who are leading female voices in Christian music, ministry, film, and literature, including Roma Downey, Karen Kingsbury, and Priscilla Shirer. You're about to meet the husband and wife team behind this new devotional, Joe and Tamara Battaglia. In full disclosure, Joe is actually a media industry expert himself, and I have been working with him for years, securing guests you see right here on Good News on Entertainment. Well, here it is. I have the book in my hand. I love this, Written in Heaven, his story, our lives. What a treat to get time with both of you.
Well, thank you, Carly. This is fun.
Yes, it is. And I want you to explain a little bit what you guys do. Joe, I've obviously worked with you for a couple years now. We are always kind of ahead of what movies and books and different things are coming out. Talk about how this came to be, though, because this is a little different for you guys.
Yes, I'll let her talk about it. This is her vision, her title. So take it away.
Well, you know, Joe's in media. And so we know a lot of different people, but when we've been married now 4 years, and we were moving in together and starting our life together, and we had this great big bookshelf, and I was putting all of our books on this bookshelf, and it was all women authors. And I began to look at his collection and then my collection, and there was many that I had never even heard of. And so I started reading their stories, and I thought, gosh, these stories are just incredible. And then meeting some of the people and hearing their stories directly from them, I was just like, wow. I mean, they just moved my heart deeply. And I mean, they've had some really hard challenges in life. And then watching how God orchestrated it all through their life, it was just truly amazing. And it really kind of boosted my faith, and it was just beautiful. And then my daughter was expecting at the time, and every morning I would read Psalms 139, 13 through 19. And that Psalms always intrigued me. And it says, all my days were written in God's book and planned before a single one began. And I began looking at all these different stories of these women of faith and just realizing, wow, God writes incredible stories. Just no one could write them like God does. And so I thought, well, wouldn't it be great if we just put them all in one book so that we could introduce everyone to each author individually? But I like books like this. I like just short, true stories. And the great thing about this book is it has a Bible verse, it has their story, it has a mission statement, and then it has a prayer. And then it has their bio. So you can look them up and get to know them a little bit better and what ministries they're involved in, books that they've written, movies they've been in. Great fun.
And I think, and you address this in that, you know, at the surface, you go, okay, here are these well-known women who've done great things, you know, who've made a name for themselves. But right away, and I love that you do this, it's like the amazing thing they've seen God do in their lives, he's doing that in everybody's. You don't have to have your name on a movie title or a book or whatever the case may be. Like, God is doing the miraculous. Like, we just really have to open our eyes.
Yes.
And see it. He's willing and waiting. He wants to show up, right? In anybody's life.
Yes. Yeah.
Well, that's the point. Everybody wants the same thing, right? They want to know that God is real. They have a purpose in life. And where can they go when they're facing challenges and life struggles and things like that? So everybody's story is different and yet the same.
So what do you hope the maybe lasting, you know, message for them, the kind of the take home for them after they spend the 40 days reading other people's faith journeys and stories?
I really hope that they will realize that everyone has a story, everyone is unique, but we all go through the same things in life. And the beautiful thing about this book and the way God put it together, from him orchestrating each of the authors, their stories, there's no story that's the same. They're all different circumstances in life that we all go through, and problems, issues, and just heartache and pain, all go through that at some time in our life. And I just pray that this book will give, Jesus is our hope. And my desire is to refocus people to Jesus.
Written in Heaven is out now. It too is available where most books are sold, including Amazon. I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Again, I'm Carly Boyette, and I look forward to seeing you next week right here on your Christian Television Network.